Hello friends, I am CA Vardhaman Daga. Finally, I am recording the GST amendment lecture in English because many students were requesting, sir, please provide your lectures in English. So I am promising you that now I will provide separate lecture in English for many students who want lectures in English because they are not quite comfortable in Hindi or English. So I want each and every student that they are benefited from this channel. So I will personally help all the students who are facing difficulty in mix of Hindi and English lectures. So let's start with GST amendment lectures, and I promise you that you will get income tax and GST, income tax and GST MTP case scenario and MCQ session in English. Already I have recorded in Hindi in English mix, but I will provide 100% in English. This amendment lecture will be in English. So enjoy with me this lecture and share with your friends. And if you have any doubts, this is my number where you can personally contact me. I will surely clear your doubts and I promise you that you will get response from Vardhaman sir. I promise you. Okay? You can pin me on WhatsApp. So let's start. We should not waste the time. And this amendment sheet, you can get it from Telegram or WhatsApp group, wherever you have joined. Okay? So let's start. We should not waste the time. First amendment, and this is one of the very important amendment which I personally think would be asked in the exam, and no student should ignore this amendment because this amendment is very important. Understand? um, let me keep it very simple. Let me keep it very simple for you because I don't want to make the things complicated, and these amendments are applicable with May amendments which you have already studied for the May attempt. So these amendments are also important. Let's talk about first amendment. What is it saying? Let me explain you. Please, humble request, clearly understand me and listen me very properly. Okay. First point, this first amendment point is saying, sir, any services, okay, any person providing sponsorship services to any body corporate or partnership firm is in reverse charge. It was already there. That's not new. This was already there. We have discussed it before also. But there is an amendment and they had made the changes, and they have made changes in such a way that they are saying any person other than body corporate. It means they want to say that the supplier should not be a body corporate. If a supplier is a body corporate, then there will not be a reverse charge. Then student asked me, sir, if it will not be a reverse charge, then how we will treat in exam? If a supplier is a body corporate, then it will be a case of forward charge. Sir, do you can you provide the points? Yes, let's write the points. I will provide you some points so that you can easily understand. Practically, there is only one case where there will be a reverse charge, and in all the other cases, there will be a forward charge. Let me provide you a notes so that you will have a better understanding of this. So, I am writing in a very simple way. Supplier, recipient. Supplier can be any person other than body corporate. And recipient is a body corporate or partnership firm. In that case, it's a reverse charge. Crystal clear? Crystal clear? This was the scenario which we have already studied from a long time. Second case. Sir, if supplier is a body corporate and recipient is body corporate or partnership firm, then it will be a case of forward charge. Next, sir, if a supplier is body corporate, recipient is any other person, then sir, then also forward charge. Next, next, very important, sir, any person likha, it is written any person. It might be a partnership firm. If it's a partnership firm providing services to body corporate and partnership firm, then it will be a reverse charge. Remember this also, because it's written that any person other than body corporate, means they're only excluding body corporate, and other than body corporate it may be any supplier. And if there is any supplier other than body corporate and providing services to a recipient, and recipient is a body corporate or a partnership firm, then it will be a case of reverse charge. Okay, now you have understood all the scenarios. I have provided you all the scenarios which might be possibly asked in the exam. This might be the possible scenarios, and I have provided with the amendment based questions. I would say kindly refer that questions, that will help you a lot. I will surely share that PDF in the Telegram or WhatsApp group. Definitely you should solve that questions, that will help you a lot. So now you're clear with this amendment. Now let's move towards the second amendment. And second amendment says that any unregistered person providing services to a registered person in relation to immovable property other than residential dwelling. It means it might be a commercial property. It might be a commercial property. So any unregistered person providing renting of immovable property, that is renting of commercial property services to a registered person, then it's a reverse charge. It was already there, we have studied before also, but they have made the change, and they have made a change. They are saying that if a registered person is a person who is liable to pay tax under composition scheme, in that case reverse charge would not be applicable. It means they are saying that supplier, recipient, supplier is unregistered and recipient is registered, then this is the case covered under reverse charge. This we have already studied. But second case, supplier is unregistered and recipient is registered, but he is registered for composition scheme. Then in that case, reverse charge would not be applicable. One student was asking me, sir, in that case, will the forward charge be applicable? I said, no, it's not possible, because this person is unregistered. How can you apply a forward charge in this case? Think about it. How can you apply it? You cannot apply forward charge in this case. So, student was asking, sir, how will be their tax treatment? There will be no tax treatment. There will be no tax treatment. It will be exempt. How can you make it taxable? Understand? You are not recovering from recipient. You are not charging from supplier, because supplier is unregistered. So, from whom you will recover the tax? There is no possibility of recovering the tax. So in that case, that transaction will be exempt, because you are not able to collect from reverse charge, because the recipient is composition person and supplier is unregistered. So that in that case, the transaction will not be considered and it will be considered as exempt. There will be no levy of GST on that. I hope you understand this amendment. It's crystal clear now? Okay. Now let's move to the next amendment. Clarification whether DDA can be treated as a local authority under GST law. So DDA means Delhi Development Authority, and they had made a very crystal clarity that Delhi Development Authority is not considered as a municipality under Article 243W of the Constitution, which means DDA will not be treated as local authority. And if they are not considered as local authority, then any services provided to DDA will be taxable. Any services provided to the DDA will be taxable. Fight was that the issue which arose was that whether DDA would be considered as local authority or not. So government has clearly mentioned that DDA will not be considered as local authority. So any services provided to DDA will be taxable and it will be covered under GST. I hope I made clear the things. This was the amendment which we covered under charge and composition. And there are many other amendments in this chapter, in other chapters also. We will cover each and every amendment. But you need to be with me so I can easily make you understand all the amendments. Okay? I hope you are understanding. If you are not able to understand any amendment, if you have any doubts, you can directly contact me on my number that is there on the sheet. Okay? Now let's move towards the next amendment. Now see what they are saying in place of supply. There is a one clarification, and they have given a very long clarification. I will provide you in the crux what they want to say. Understand me and kindly listen carefully. Sir, we have studied section 12 in relation to place of supply of services. Okay. Now, the question arises that if any services which are not covered under specific, they are covered under general provision, and general provision says that if a services is provided to a registered person, location of such person, and if the services is provided to an person other than registered person, then location of the recipient where the address on record exists, the address which we are having, that will be the place of supply. Other, and if we are not having the address also, then the location of the supplier of services will be the place of supply in any other cases. Okay, this was the provision which was already there in the book and we have studied it. Now the question arises, what was the question was that any person, listen carefully, listen, any person providing supply of online or digital services, OIDR services, this is not in the syllabus of inter student, okay, but they have mentioned it. Online money gaming services, if any supplier is providing this type of services to this three type of services to unregistered person, so what will be the place of supply? So through circular, they have crystal clearly made that any person providing all the three services, yeah, any of the three services to an unregistered person, then that person need to mention the state, of that unregistered person, and that state will be considered as a place of supply. They do not want complete address, they want the name of the state. If the name of the state is given, then that name of the state will be considered as place of supply, and place of supply be the location of the recipient, and location of the recipient will be the name of the state which you have mentioned in the invoice. Many students were asking, sir, there is any example of such online or digital services? Yes, we are using OTT platforms. We are using OTT platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime. We are using many type of applications, digital services, and online money gaming. There are many games. You can call up Free Fire or Call of Duty, and many games, many. So this was one of the important clarifications. Might be possible you can say for the inter examination, not that much important, but theoretical question can be asked from this, or MCQ or case scenario based question can be asked from this. So we need to remember that for online or digital services or online money gaming services or OIDR services, if the recipient is unregistered, then in the invoice we have to mention the state from where that unregistered person is. If we mention the state, that state will be considered as place of supply as the location of the recipient. We need to remember this thing only in respect of the circular. I hope I have made clear to you. Okay, if any student want to read this circular completely in detail, you can surely read it, but for exam purpose it's not important to read all complete circular in detail. If it would be, then I would have read with you this all circular. And remember one thing in respect of this services, The value of invoice doesn't matter. If the invoice is of 1 rupee also, then also they have to mention the name of the state in the invoice. You should remember this. Okay, this much only is relevant for the exam. I hope I have made clear to you. This was the amendment which was covered from the place of supply chapter. Now let's move towards the exemption. There are some new exemptions and amendments covered under this also. Okay, see, first amendment that is there in exemption is this one, and this amendment has came for the May attempt also, but there is a slight change that they made for the September also. See, what's the change? Sir, देखो, supply of services by providing metering equipment on rent, testing for meters, transformers, capacitors, etc., releasing electricity connection, shifting of meter services lines, issuing duplicate bill, etc., which are identical or ancillary to the supply of transmission. Here it was written and now they have changed it to or. It means any electricity department which is in the service of transmission or is in the service of distribution, they can provide this type of services, and if they provide this type of services, then it's exempt. Before this amendment, it was written and, which means any person supplying such services means he need to do both transmission and distribution. Now they have written that it's or, which means a person who is involved in supply of transmission of electricity can also provide these services, which will be exempt. Any person who is in the distribution of electricity can also provide the services, it would be exempt. Okay, you should remember this because they have removed the word and they've inserted the word or, which means they have given the option, they have given the benefit to all those persons who are just involved in transmission or just involved in distribution. Both are now getting the benefits. So that is very nice because in India, some are doing transmission work, some are doing distribution work. So now both will get the benefit if they supply this type of services to a customer. Okay. Now they are exempt. Both are exempt. Now transmission one or distribution one also. Okay. Now next, this services, what they are saying, listen, any services provided by, this was already there. This is not a new points. National Skill Development Corporation, National Council for Vocational Education and Training, any awarding body recognized by the National Council, any assessment agency recognized by the National Council, any training body accredited, an awarding body that is recognized by the National Council. This was already there. They have added this point. A training partner approved by the National Skill Development Corporation. Currently, there are 249 training partners working in India and counting. Means they are increasing day by day. If this training partner approved by the National Skill Development Corporation are providing this skill development programs, vocational skill development program, national skill qualification framework, this services they are provided. In relation to this services they are providing, then it's exempt. Means they have added training partner. They have added training partners also because many places there are opening the training partners branches so that from that branches also they can provide the skill development courses and trainings that will help many people while getting the jobs, government jobs, private jobs, and many type of jobs. So this training partner are now also covered. Now this training partner providing the services will also be exempt. I hope you have been cleared with this. Okay. Now next, services of insurance provided by Motor Vehicle Accidental Fund constituted under Section 164 B of the Motor Vehicle Act 1988 against the contribution made by the insurers out of the in premium collected from the third party insurance of motor vehicle. Understand this. All the insurer who have insured some or the other vehicle or any other thing and they have received a contribution from third party insurance of motor vehicle and they are collecting that amount and keeping it in a separate motor vehicle accidental fund. See, they are collecting the premium as a third party insurance of motor vehicle, and they are collecting that amount and keeping in a separate fund, motor vehicle accidental fund, so that in case of an emergency or in case of any accident, they can use this fund and provide the customer the money which they are required to be paid. So they are keeping their backup plan so that in case of an accident, they can provide this amount from this accidental fund. So if they are using this third party insurance motor vehicle premium, and they from that premium they are keeping the money in a motor vehicle accidental fund, then this process is exempted. Practically, from the market point of view or from the student point of view, we doesn't know about this, and we doesn't know get to know about it also, because it's not concerned with any customer. It's between the insurance company who are keeping such amount, bit of amount in motor vehicle accidental fund, so that in case if there is any accident and vehicle is completely destroyed, then they can provide this money from motor vehicle accidental fund. Okay, how we keep the money from the reserve in the form of reserves, they are also doing that only, so that they can be in a safe side if there is any accident of the vehicles. Okay, they can easily provide the fund from that accidental fund. I hope you have understood this amendment. Next, they have defined the insurer, and insurer means an Indian insurance company, statutory body. I don't think this is that much important for exams. You can just read it. Okay? An insurance cooperative society, a foreign company engaged in reinsurance business through a branch established in India. You can just read it. You can just read it. Next, they have clearly mentioned that Municipal Corporation of Delhi is not covered under 243W of the Constitution of India as a municipality. So any services provided to Municipal Corporation of Delhi will be taxable. They are not considered as municipal. They are not considered as municipality or local authority, and they will be taxable. They will be taxable. Municipal Corporation of Delhi will be taxable. Okay, so any services provided to Municipal Corporation of Delhi, it will be taxable. They are not covered under municipality or local authority, because we have studied that any services provided to government in relation to municipality or panchayat is exempt. So Municipal Corporation of Delhi is not considered as municipality or panchayat, so any services provided to them will be taxable. I hope I made you clear the things. Okay, now we have covered the amendment related to exemptions. Now this is one of the great amendment of input tax credit. I hope you are understanding what I am saying. So kindly refer to your friends also. They will also easily understand what are the amendments, and these amendments are important. Some of the amendments might be asked in the September and January exams also. So refer this amendment to your friends also. Now let's see input tax credit. Now see this concept of input tax credit, one clarification, and this clarification is very important for exam. Understand this. Kindly listen it very properly, very carefully. Okay. Understand. See, there is one automobile dealer who connect with one person. That person is called as an original equipment manufacturer, who manufacture the goods and supply the goods to the automobile dealer. It may be any part of the machine, it may be anything. He manufactured that goods and supplied that goods to the automobile dealer. Now, one of the clarification which comes here is they both have entered into an Ex-Work contract. Ex-Work contract means this original equipment manufacturer says that I will make a delivery of the goods on the factory gate of my factory, which means I will hand over the goods to the transporter on my factory gate, and as soon as I deliver the goods to the transporter, as soon as I remove the goods from my factory gate, it will be deemed as goods have been delivered. Now, what was the concern? Concern was that, just take an example, this person removes the goods from factory on 29th April. Okay, an automobile dealer receives the goods on 2nd May. If this would have been a normal contract, then we would have decided the credit period on the basis of goods actually received by automobile dealer, because on that basis only we would have decided time of supply and we would have decided credit time period. But they have entered into an X work contract basis, which means X contract says that whenever the original equipment manufacturer deliver the goods to the transporter or hand over the goods to the transporter, or he removes the goods from the factory gate, on that date it's deemed that goods have been delivered to the automobile dealer. Means it will be considered that on 29th of April goods have been delivered to the automobile dealer, which means on the basis of 29th April automobile dealer would be able to take the credit, and on that basis he would be allowed as a time period for availing the credit. First and foremost important thing. Second thing, the matter which was again raised was that, kindly understand properly, on 29th April, you consider that goods have been received, and even if it's not received, actually received on 2nd May, but on 29th April, you have considered that goods have been received on the basis of which automobile dealer has taken the credit. Now the question arises, there might be a transportation expense. What about that? What will be about that? Transportation expense, will that be added in the value of supply? No. Every time remember that when we are finding the value of supply of any goods or services, if the contract is on X work contract, in that case transportation charges are not included in the value of supply. I'm saying this because I'm considering 2 points of amendment. First, input tax credit, where you have understand that it will be deemed as goods have been received on 29th April. On the basis of that, automobile dealer will take the credit. That is quite simple, that I have cleared you. But second thing, I personally think that can be asked in the exam. If someone enters into an X work contract basis, in that case, if you're finding the value of supply, don't add the transportation cost. That is very, very important, because goods have been considered to be have been delivered on the factory gate of original equipment manufacturer. When the goods have been deemed to be delivered on the factory gate of OM, then there is no need to add transportation cost. I hope you have understood this. So that is very, very important. In short crux, you need to remember this. When original equipment manufacturer enters into an X work contract basis with automobile dealer, the goods will be deemed to be delivered on the date when the goods are handed over to the transporter or goods are removed from the factory. That date will be considered as the date where the goods have been delivered, and on the basis of that we will decide the credit period. How much is the credit time will be allowed, time will he will be allowed to take the credit. First thing, you understand this? Because some student might say, sir, will it affect the credit period, will it affect the anything? Yes, understand this, how it will affect. If you consider as 29th April goods have been delivered, so he can take the credit when he filed the return of May. GSTR 3B, he would file GSTR 3B and he would take the credit during the May month. Then he will file GSTR 3B. And when if you consider on 2nd May, the goods have been delivered, then he would be able to take the credit on June. So there is a difference in the month when he will be able to take the credit. And this difference comes because we are considering the contract on X work contract basis. I hope now you have understood. Okay, crystal clear. I have explained you complete circular with the help of diagram, example and everything, so that you can easily understand. And even if you want to read this, you can definitely read this. What I have explained is given in this complete circular. Okay, I made it short, simple, crisp, so that you can easily grab in your mind and you will get definitely a good understanding of what I have said. One question which arises in a student's mind was that, very nice question, and that question I have considered in my amendment based questions, and it's a very nice question. consider that question. Please kindly listen. If original equipment manufacturer is delivering 10 motor vehicle, okay, 10 motor vehicle to an automobile dealer. Now he has handed over 10 motor vehicle to the transporter. Now when the goods were actually moving, two motor vehicle have been destroyed due to any fire, explosion, anything, any reason. Two motor vehicle have been destroyed. Now automobile dealer has taken full credit because how much goods are handed over? 10. So he has taken on the basis of 10 goods has been handed over to the transporter. So he has taken the credit of 10 motor vehicle. But now the question is that two goods have been destroyed on the way. So what will be the consequences when these two goods have been destroyed? Now this automobile dealer has to reverse two goods credit. Now he has to reverse two goods credit because he has actually received 8 goods. First he has taken credit of 10 goods. Now he has to reverse two goods credit as the two motor vehicle has not been received by him. Do you understand this concept? Very, very important. So he will take full credit. He will take full credit of 10 motor vehicles on May month when he will file GST 3B, and when he will file on June GST 3B, he will reverse two motor vehicle credit. This is one of the extreme scenario which can come in the exam. I have covered this scenario in amendment based question also. You can cover it from there also. Okay. Now Ex-Work contract is completely understandable. I hope now everything is clear to you. Even if you have any doubt, you can pin me in WhatsApp. I will definitely help you in that doubt. Okay. Come on. Now let's move to the next topic. See. Now, this is very one of the good question, and I personally believe this can come in MCQ or case scenario. Understand this, what it's asking. Let me add a page and then I will explain you. Okay. Now see, supplier is unregistered. Recipient is registered. And the supplier is supplying services which is taxable under reverse charge. Sir, can we have an example? Yes. You can take of an author and publisher. Okay. Author is unregistered and publisher is registered. So publisher will be liable to pay GST under reverse charge. We know this provision. We all know this provision. This provision is from long time. Now, first and the foremost important thing is, sir, recipient is registered and supplier is unregistered. So who will issue the tax invoice? One student asked me, sir, why we need to consider that who will issue tax invoice? Because unless you issue the tax invoice, how can I decide what is the time limit for taking the credit? Sir, because on the basis of tax invoice only we decide what is the time period till that we can take the credit. So supplier is unregistered, so he cannot issue tax invoice. Now government says to a recipient, you are registered, you are paying GST under reverse charge. Kindly you only issue tax invoice. Now recipient says, okay, I will issue the tax invoice, but what is the time period? What is the time period under which I need to issue tax invoice? Government made it very crystal clear. Government says that within 30 days. Within 30 days. Within 30 days, you need to issue the tax invoice. I says within 30 days, this 30 days will be counted from when? Government made it crystal clear this 30 days will be counted from the date of supply of goods or services. Whenever the author supply the goods or author will supply the services, whenever the author supply the services to the publisher, whenever the publisher receives such services, 30 days will be counted from the date when the services has been received, and within 30 days recipient need to issue the tax invoice, and within 30 days when the tax invoice is issued by the recipient, on the basis of that time of supply will be decided in case of reverse charge. Okay, now most important thing, when you consider time of supply in case of reverse charge, in question always see that who is issuing the invoice, supplier or recipient. If supplier is issuing, then we have the old provision, that is date of payment or 60 days from the date of invoice, because supplier is issuing the invoice. When recipient is issuing, you need to consider that payment date or date of issue of invoice by the recipient. And invoice, what is the time limit for issuing the invoice by the recipient? That is 30 days. 30 days from when? 30 days from the receipt of goods or services. It has a great connection in tax invoice and time of supply also. So you need to study both, connecting both, because in exams the provision can come or question can come in the form of connecting both the provisions. So I personally think you should connect and study both the things. That will help you a lot. I hope I made you clear in this. Okay. So this was the amendment in tax invoice, credit or debit note. Okay. Now next, e-way bill. This is very simple amendment and there is no rocket science in that. We have understood and studied that e-way bill can be generated by an unregistered person also. This point was already there, that e-way bill can be generated by an unregistered person also. But they have added this point also. Now they are saying that unregistered person making interstate supply transport of handicraft goods exempted from obtaining registration required to generate e-way bill irrespective of the value of consignment. Now any person making interstate transport of handicraft goods, they also need to generate e-way bill even if the value of consignment is less than 50,000. Okay, this is one of the point which has been added in the e-way bill. And this point is old one which I have already studied. Okay, now understood. Now let's move to the next amendment. There is an amendment in payment of tax, but that is not relevant for inter exams. That is section 74A has been added. That is not relevant because this section doesn't covered in inter course. Inter course it is not covered. It is covered in CA final. So I don't think any student need to study this 74A. Okay. Now next, written. One amendment I personally think that is very important in case of MCQ and case scenario, and it's very simple, very simple. Do you remember TDS section? TDS under section 51, where they need to file monthly return. Earlier it was said that they need to file TDS return only when TDS has been deducted. Now they have made compulsory, even if the TDS has not been deducted, they need to file return under GSTR 7. It means now government need to file GSTR 7 even if TDS has not been deducted. It has been made compulsory. Even if TDS is deducted or not deducted, you need to file monthly TDS return. That obligation has been imposed. Uh, Earlier it was optional. Earlier it was optional means you need to file TDS return only when TDS has been deducted. Now it has been made compulsory. Okay, this is the small amendment in the return and nothing much. And this is not important. This is not important for you all guys because this 74A is not relevant for CA inter exams. Okay, so finally I have covered all the amendments which are applicable for September 25, and I will try to bring MTP series in English also. In Hindi already I have uploaded, Hindi English mix I have uploaded. In English I will try to bring so that it will help a lot of students. I would request a favor from you all guys. This was my first lecture which I am recording in English. Might be possible some of my words have been slipped or might not be proper, so kindly consider that. And I hope you guys will definitely show a lot of love and will join me, and I will surely work on this so that many of the students who are opting for English lecture or who want English lecture will definitely get benefit from that, from this all lectures. Okay, so share with your friends and kindly join Telegram and WhatsApp group. There I will be personally assisting you, and if you have any doubt or queries, I am always there for you. Okay, now thank you.